shooting stars, the satellites. I never dreamed that you'd be mine, but here we are, we're here tonight, singing, hey, man, I'm alive, singing, hey, man, I'm alive. If everyone cared and nobody cried, if everyone loved and nobody lied, if everyone shared and swallowed their pride, then we see the day when nobody died. And I'm singing, hey, amen, amen, I'm alive. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to 1 Hour with UCIEL. I want to start by saying I hope this time of year is not stressing you out. I know it gets to me a little bit, not necessarily because of, you know, who am I going to buy something for or anything like that, but mostly because people are rude. People are more rude. They're more nervous. They're driving crazy. They're not being nice in the lines. People are irritated. So don't let it get to you. Don't let that change your plans or what you feeling like doing. Just keep going. Keep going. It's hard, I know, but keep going. Don't let the bad win. Don't let the enemy win over what you're planning. You know, uh, there's certain things I do around the house for the holidays. Like, it's not so much of a celebration, it's more like a thank you. I like to do little thank you things for people through the year, that help me, that, you know, that I do. And because the stores, shopping so chaotic, I don't want to do it because I don't want to go through that stress. I don't want to go through that line. I don't want to. But I'm like, no, I'm not gonna let that change who I am, change the things that I like to do that make me happy, that make me comfort. I'm not gonna stop doing that. So, um, make a list of the things you like to do. That way you don't forget, and plan a day and just do what makes you happy, what makes you comfortable, what you like to do. Don't let others ruin the joy that you have, whether it's the holidays, whether it's just in general in life. I wanted to start with that because I know that it happened to me, and I heard other people saying that. Like, I heard one friend said, "Oh, I wanted to put up a Christmas tree at my house." She says, "But I wanted to put up a Christmas tree, but she's like, just to think about how the people out there and this and that and the lines and she's like, I told her, don't let that get to you. You do if you want to, don't let maybe it's not going to be as bad as you think it is. Don't let that get to you. Just do what you feel like doing. You do what is going to make you happy. If decorating is going to make you happy, then do it. You know, um but there's certain things I like to do around the house that work out, that I'm going to do. And I went shopping for it today, so it reminded me to remind you guys to don't let no one break your spirit, your happiness, the spirit. I'm not talking about a Christmas spirit. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about your spirit in general, your beliefs, your heart, your content, your peace of mind. Don't let no one do that to you, because at the end of the day, uh, that is what designed for. The enemy likes that. The enemy likes to see you suffer. So don't let it, as much as irritate you, take a minute, take a breather. Um, Make yourself a hot chocolate, eggnog, whatever makes you happy. Do it. Don't worry about if the house is a mess. Don't worry about that. You get to it, you'll get to it. But don't worry about don't worry about thinking about others, because it might not happen the way you're thinking. Don't let no one steal your peace. Okay, and I want to jump into our next subject. Little subjects that I've been holding back to talk, because I'm always trying to advocate and talk about the children. Because things are getting worse, not getting better. Things are getting worse. But today I want to talk about churches. I want to talk about I have I have experience I have experience of how people disrespect the church, how people disrespect the church, and it's a little hard for me to like to express it, to talk about it, because um it bothers me, and it seems like it doesn't bother nobody else. But you know, um when I was young, I remember my mom always told me that the house of the Lord, you respect the house of the Lord. You respect the house of the Lord. You keep it clean. You follow rules. You follow, you know, policies, whatever they have. You follow that because you're visiting. You're a guest at the Lord's home. I have experience where people don't care for the churches. They disrespect the church by keeping them dirty. They don't, people come in and if they see something on the floor, they don't pick it up because I didn't throw it, so I don't know I'm supposed to pick it up. I didn't do it, so I'm not gonna pick it up. So that, first of all, the person that threw the paper is disrespecting the house of the Lord. When you're in charge of something to do at church and you're not doing it with love, that's respecting the Lord, because you're just doing it to do it. You're not doing it from your kind of your heart. You're not doing it because you like to do it. You're not doing it to help others. You're not doing it to help your church. You're not doing it to help your pastor. You're not doing it to help others. You're doing it just to do it, so they could say you did it, or because you're getting paid or something. And I'm not talking about people that provide the service. I'm talking to people in the church. I have experienced neglect on the church when it comes to that. We disrespect the church by not following directions. We disrespect the church by allowing our children to run around like it's a damn playground. Like, it's just crazy. I see that a lot. They're running around like they're a playground. Like, I never did that. I don't remember getting away with that. I don't remember getting away with playing around like a playground in the church. My mom would have just, I don't know, man. I don't know what she would have done because we never did it. So I don't know. That's one thing we didn't do. We didn't disrespect the Lord's house. Oh no. You know, these moms allow these kids to eat at church, eat their snacks, and or she's supposed to have a snack, then she's supposed to be outside, or she's supposed to be not in the congregation, not in the what church service is at. You're not supposed to be doing that. Like, I can't believe I'm sitting here and talking about that. That's just so silly. It's so silly that I'm here talking about that. Like, that's so it sounds so immature. Like I have to teach moms how to be moms when it comes to that. Like, all these little kids are running around like crazy, or they're eating in the church, or they're drinking, they're playing, and get this one. Not myself, but others have experienced where the kids are on the phone playing video games while the pastor is talking. Like, how disrespectful is that? And the moms are okay with, well, he needs to be entertained. Well, he needs to headphones. That's, first of all, he needs headphones, and he needs to sit all the way in the back. You need to sit with him all the way in the back. I see that a lot. I have, my heart right now is bothered by that. It's bothered because I see it. I see the neglect that people put in the church. I see the careless that they do. And then see, if we don't put love in it, if we don't keep our churches clean, if we don't do what we're supposed to be doing, if we're not taking care of that, that shows what kind of church we are. That shows when you walk into some church and it smells so pretty and it looks so nice. You see how much love and care they have for that church. I have cleaned, because I volunteer cleaning for churches. I have cleaned churches that you could tell people love that place. You could tell people put care for it. And I have cleaned churches that you could tell people don't care, that no one cares. And what bothers me about that is, what bothers me is the hypocrite about it. How they say they love the pastor, they love everybody, they love the church. This is my church. This is my house church. But you're not willing to clean a bathroom. You're not willing to pick up some trash. You're not willing to do nothing because, oh no, I not, because I'm not getting paid. So how you love it? How you love it? If you don't want to clean it, and keep it clean. Keep it clean. That's all I ask. Keep it clean. Let's you know show the church shows how much you care for it. It shows when it's dirty, when it's clean, it shows. And I haven't been experiencing that, and it's been bothering me. Uh, I don't know. Sometimes I don't know if the pastors are embarrassed to say something, or they feel that it's not right to say something. But it is the house of the Lord. You can't be disrespecting like that with with people just running in like if it's a playground, like if it's a playground, like they treat it like if it's a playground. Stop stop doing that. Start loving your church. So the minute you start loving your church and caring for it, others are going to see that. Others are going to see that this church is like, they're not going to dare to throw a piece of paper on the floor, because they're going to see like, oh no, they don't do that here. But when you allow it to happen in your church, everyone else is going to be doing that. You know, people need to stop being rude, and you need to talk to your children and tell them how important it is to keep our church clean. Participate, help. You know, one of the ladies that works with me told me, she said, "How come nobody they love the church so much? How come they don't team up and say, hey, between all of us, let's give it a good cleaning, a good cleaning, once every other whatever." Because I told her, because they don't love it that much. They don't love it that much. I cleaned a church for 8 years. I cleaned the church for 8 years, and I got criticized, and people told me, even my family, some of my family members that told me, "Why are you doing it?" And I said, "I do it because I love this church, because I care, and if I'm doing it for one person, that's who I'm doing it for. I like it. I like what I do because I care. When you don't care, when the minute I said, oh, the things are not working out for me. I don't feel the same way I felt like 8 years ago. Doesn't mean it was for me to stop, because I'm not gonna be a hypocrite in doing it and be mad about it. I'm not gonna do that. That's not how it works. I'm not gonna do it just because I have an obligation, or because you know so I could look cute and people could say, "Oh my God, you help clean the church." No, I'm not going to do it for that. I'm going to do it because it makes me happy. It makes the Lord happy. It makes people that come in happy, and it looks good. A lot of people don't care for the churches the way they should. A lot of people don't appreciate the church. They don't appreciate where they worship at. They don't take care of it. And I'm more ashamed of the people in the church, all the people, elders and whatever they are called, everyone that's involved. I'm ashamed of them too, because they don't put efforts. I think they think they're too high up there for them to stand down, step down and clean, you know, just because Blue is a rev, and I have a show and I have a business, doesn't mean I'm better than no one, and I'm not gonna, oh no, I can't scrub a bathroom from the church. Oh no, man, that's gonna mess up my nails. No, no. But because I care, I'm gonna do it. It doesn't make me less of a person. It doesn't make me more of a person. But a lot of these people, I especially if you clean your home, you could tell when the church is neglected, and I'm very disappointed and very heartbroken to see that and I just didn't see it. Other people seen it, and they, and people told me about it, and I feel like things have to change. Start with you. Start telling your kids to respect the church. When your kids are running around, why you allow that? I don't understand that. I don't understand why people allow their children to take it as a playground. I really don't, and I don't know, and I don't know how to. I don't know what I would do, what my mom would have done, because we never did it. Because my parents, yeah, my dad too. My parents told me that was God's home. We don't do that. You take care of it more than you take care of your own house. And I at that time, I mean, being young, you don't understand, but you knew that if you're going to do something bad, you were going to be in trouble. See, but now people are so afraid to tell others what they feel, to tell others the the reality. They're so afraid of people that they just keep it to themselves. So, next time you're out there, volunteer, ask, what can I do? And I'm not saying every day because we have lives, but once in a while, you could do it for others. Show your kindness. Okay, so now I want to change a little subject about I've been dying to talk about about females, about how what we go through as women. I haven't came across a lot of ladies that are codependent on men, that they're dependent of, that they don't do nothing for themselves, that they're dependent on men. And let me tell you something: if you're that person that you're so dependent that your husband takes care of you, that he doesn't allow you to do other things, and I know I'm going to upset a lot of people, but that's okay, because reality pisses people off, so that's just how it's going to be. But there's a lot of women that I have met, and that depend on men, like that they don't work because their men don't allow them, but because men, oh, because I'll take care of you and this and that. But let me tell you, not everything's not forever. And I deal with I deal with a lot of women when I talk to them in the ministry and my job, that they're so codependent on men that they're not allowed to do other stuff but just be home. But let me tell you something, that you are worth more than that. And if you're out there hearing me, you are worth more than that. That that it's okay to want to be do something in life. It's okay to want to have a hobby, to want to have a job. It's okay. It's okay that even if you're 50 years old and you want to go to school and do something, it's okay. Arts and crafts, go to the gym or something to get out of the house. It's okay. It's okay. And if you because I tell you what, I know a lot of girls that are going through that been through that, and that now they're separated and they're struggling. They're struggling financially. They're struggling. I know at least right now I know three that are going through the same thing. That because my ex husband didn't allow me to work. He didn't want me working, and now she's suffering. They're suffering because it is suffering. It is suffering not knowing when your next meal is gonna come from. It is suffering when you're looking for a job. It is suffering when you don't know what to do. It is. It is suffering because you're tormented every night. Because you're tormented every night. And when you open up yourself to see what life has for you, to see, you could get a job, you could go to school, you could do something, you could see a lot of, and I'm not saying every man, but a lot of men like to have control. They have to like to have control, because if it was for love, they will want you to do better, not forbid you do anything. you know i I know a lot of women that they have told me, well, my husband doesn't want me to work because he says he'd take care of it. And then a few years later, they're divorced, they're not together, he's not helping her, and she's stuck. Not because I haven't worked for like 1,000 years, and all of a sudden we're separated. Now I have to work, and I don't know how to start, and I don't know what to do. Everything because you don't have nothing to fall back on. You don't have nothing. My parents always showed me that you must work. My parents always showed me, I don't care if your husband is a millionaire. You have to know how to work, because nothing in life is forever. And he says, and people that that are not productive, they don't succeed in life. So you have to be productive. You have to do something in life. And I'm not talking about people that are retired. Please, I'm not talking about the people that are retired. They already did their job. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the young ladies, 20, 30s, that they're stuck, 40s, that they're stuck at home because my husband don't want me to work. I'm talking about those. Because guess what? When you're that over 60, you're not going to have no social security to collect. You're not going to have that. You're not going to have that because your husband didn't let your social security work. So this has been bugging me a lot because I see it a lot. I see a lot that, oh, I didn't work because my husband didn't want me to work. and he gives me money, this is like an allowance. That's crazy to me. That's crazy to me. You know, um, I understand when you have little children, you have to be home with them and you have to raise them. And, especially now with this crazy world, you can't leave them with babysitters, but they're not babies forever. They're not babies forever. Once they hit first grade, I have told this to women. Once they hit first grade, you should be able to get a job, a part time. Start with a part time because you could be working when that child is in school, or they have after school programs as well. You know, I know it's important to be there for your children when they get out of school. That's why I'm saying part time, but they're not willing to do that. There's young ladies that they're home all day doing nothing because their husband don't allow them to get a job. Their husband don't allow them to do anything. And we need, as women, we need to rise up and do for ourselves. Do for ourselves. Um, it's not necessarily about money, but it's necessarily about you getting ahead in life, you having your purpose, you finding yourself. You're not allowing people to block your blessings. That's what it's about. It's not about, oh, I don't need to work because my husband provides everything. Well, yeah, he provides everything. That's nice and dandy. Well, is it going to be like that forever? And I'm not talking about, oh, because you guys will be divorced or anything, because situations change, life changes, things changes, people change. It shouldn't. I think people shouldn't change, but people do change. And then it's just, I'm just trying to say that women have to have something to fall back on. To fall back on, and you need to know how to survive. You need to know how to fight out there in the world. You need to be proud of yourself, of the things you have accomplished, not just, oh, well, my husband never let me do anything. All I did was just served him, or just stayed home with the babies. But the babies grew up, and what else did you do? What else did you do? The babies grew up, and what else did you do? Even if you don't need the money, have something to fall back on. So have something to, that if something, God forbid, something bad happens, you already know how to fight. You already know what to do. Because, but believe me, the older we get, the more it gets harder. It gets harder to get hired. It gets harder to do stuff. And knowledge is very important. Knowledge, knowledge is very important. A lot of women, they don't have it because they're not out there. They're just home. And a lot of these women are home just not being productive. Not being productive because I know a lot of people that are staying home and their kids are still wild. One of the reasons that my father told my mom to stay home, this is back in the what 80s and 90s, stay home because to watch over us, was for that. To watch over us was to make sure we went to school, to make sure we ate, to make sure that we weren't in the streets. That was the reason. That was the reason at that time. And my mom made sure of those things. But nowadays, how many parents are killing their kids? How many parents are abusing their children? How many parents are doing bad things to their kids? And, they don't feed them, they don't take them to school, or they let them miss school. So why are you really staying home for? For who? For what? If you're not doing your part, because your part is to help raise the babies, raise the kids. That is the excuse the men give you. I need you to stay home. But someone that cares for you, loves you, is not gonna block your blessing. And if you're that woman out there that's hearing me, you know, you have to consider your life too. Because all this craziness about moms killing kids, and kids killing, this is all that comes with that. I think, I hear moms saying, I hear working moms saying, I have to work because if I was home, I'll go crazy with all those kids. I need to get out. I have moms that have worked with me that told me this is my free time working here. This is my getaway time to not go crazy. Find something to do, find something to be part of. It's okay to break the pattern. It's okay to do new things. It's okay to be what you want to be, or even what you thought you couldn't be. It's okay to do that. I want to encourage women to do better for themselves. It's not about having power over men. No, I'm not talking about nothing like that. I'm talking about you as a woman feeling valuable, knowing that you're valuable. You as a woman, when you sit down tomorrow, that you say, I accomplished this. I did this. I did this. Not, don't have a story where, like, a lot of grandparents, a lot of older people have a story like, well, I never did nothing because I had to, I had to raise my kids, so I never did nothing. Like, a lot of parents, if you hear on social media, a lot of these kids ask the parents, if you went back and you had to choose something to do, what would you do? And all these women have dreams. Well, I always wanted to do this. I always wanted to do that. I always wanted to do this, you know, and wanted. That's the word, wanted. Always wanted. So they never did it. That means they never did it. Don't be that. There's very few women that tell me, um, I'm very happy. I did the things I want and I accomplished what I want and I did this and I did that. So now I'm happy, retired, doing this or watching my grandkids grow up, but they're happy. But you hear a lot, if I could go back, I'll do this. And let me tell you something also, ladies. Kids grow up. Children grow up. Children will leave the nest and it's going to leave you alone. They will leave the nest. They will leave the nest. They will fall in love. They will get married. They will have a life. They will do their own life. Then where is it going to leave you? By yourself. Because the husband is working. That's what I'm saying. You know, for women to rise up, to do productive things, to be productive, to do things that make you happy, to do things that are gonna be be your tomorrow. Like, if you sit back and say, "This is what I did. This is I'm proud of what I did." See, if I was to, you know, if I was to, if they were to tell me, "Are you happy where you're at?" Yes, I'm happy where I'm at. I'm happy with the things I've done. I'm happy. There's one more thing I want to do, and I'm gonna work hard for it. I'm gonna work hard for it because that'll be the last thing that I have on my bucket list, sort of say. You know, there's one more thing I have in my bucket list, and of course we're not gonna do all our bucket list, but at least I could say I did most of it. I wanted a business. I wanted to run my own business, and I did it. I did it. You know, I wanted to get married, not just live with someone. I want to be married, and I did it. I told that to my mother. I want to be married. I don't want to just be by myself or live alone or nothing like that. I did it. I wanted to drive, and I learned how to drive it myself. I did it myself. I opened my business myself. You know, um, I'm able to do my purpose that God has for me. I'm able to do that purpose. I'm able to do that. I'm working on that. I wanted to have I always wanted to have my own dogs, and I didn't want no one to tell me anything. I wanted to have my own dogs, and I didn't want to hear nothing. And that's exactly what I do. I have my own animals, and no one tells me anything. So those are things I accomplished in life that I wanted, that I'm happy for, that I'm blessed. I'm blessed that I'm around good people. But if I would have stayed and if I would have stayed in a relationship I was in 15 years ago, I wouldn't be here today. I wouldn't have done the things I've done because that person of 15 years ago was holding me back, was holding me back. Because even though I always have worked, I worked since I was 16. I always had worked. I was also a prisoner of the relationship. I was a prisoner. I wasn't free. And I know a lot of ladies go through that. So that's why I'm speaking out to you to rethink and see the signs. No one that loves you is going to stop you from your blessing. Blessing from DJG Bless and Alyssa. We love you, UML family. Thank you. Thank you, DJG Bless. So just saying that, and women, we have to help each other. We have to encourage each other. You know, I I have I tell the girls that I work with, I tell them, you know, we all different. We all different styles, different everything. Well, we will respect each other and we will get along. We don't have to be best friends, but we are going to respect each other. We're not going to talk about each other because we are teamwork. We're a team. We work together. We have to um, lift one another. Teamwork. The same for the outside. I heard girls um, like if someone looks pretty, or someone's looking nice, it's okay for you to tell them. It's okay. It's good for you to tell that person, you look nice today. You look pretty today. I like your hair. I like your shoes. I like whatever. It's okay to give women a compliment instead of hating on them. Instead of saying, "Gosh, she's ugly. Got this and this." And that. We seem to say that more than the compliment. We seem to say that more. We have to, because sometimes we don't. If we don't lift each other's spirits, then who else is going to help us? Who else is going to do it for us? We have to help each other. We have to do it. Sometimes our husbands forget to tell us, but if another lady tells us, like, someone did notice. So be kind. Let's be kind to others. Let's just try to get along. I mean, we are all together in this world. We are all together, brothers and sisters. We have to. Just because I'm not gonna call you my sister every 5 seconds does not mean that we're not. I don't really use the word sister a lot or brother a lot, but that doesn't mean you're not. We are brothers and sisters. I just wanna reach out to those girls that are going through stuff like that are going through any type of mental abuse, because there's a lot. I see it when they're talking. I see the red flags. I see stuff, and I know what people are gonna say. Well, just pray about it. Well, yeah, I do pray about it, but I'm also gonna speak about it. I'm also gonna speak because I was once that girl. I was once that girl that uh, um that I was sheltered. That I was kept from my blessings. I was kept from my blessing. I was that one girl that wasn't allowed to do many things. That I thought that was love. I thought people. I thought that the person that I was with 15 years ago, more than 15 years ago, that I thought that person cared for me because he allowed me to do many things. Like, no, I'm gonna take you everywhere you go. I'm gonna do. I don't want you to drive. I thought that was love, and that's not love. That's control. Because when someone loves you, they want you to get ahead in life. They want you to get ahead. They trust you to do better. They want you to do better. They want you to succeed. When you succeed, they succeed. Because I know when Red Blue does things and he succeeds, I'm so proud of him. I feel like I succeed. He succeed, and I'm happy for that. I'm happy when other people succeed, you know. But when someone doesn't want you to, that's not love. That's not love. If they tell you, "Oh, I'm gonna drive you to the nails because I don't want you to be by yourself, and I love you," and that's control. That's control. That's control. And let's not confuse it with love. So if you're out there and you feel like you want to talk to somebody, I'm here. Just reach out to me, email me, and I get a hold of you, because I know that I was supposed to talk to this about this because someone is going through it. I know that because it's been bugging me, and I didn't talk about it last week because I had some other subjects to talk about. But when someone controls you, you can confuse it but love. I used to think it was love. I really thought, but I was so young. I was in my 20s. I was very young, and I thought, oh wow, this is love, I guess, because that person takes care of me. That person pays for everything. That person, doesn't let me, allow me to go by myself because he cares for me. But that's not true. That was just control. That's just control. Sometimes when they control you, they not only did they yell at you, but they do other stuff to you. Um, and then at that moment they're abusive, and then next day they're like, well, okay, well, let's go out to eat, I'll buy you anything you want, this and that, I love you, I'm sorry, this and that, and happy, happy, hold hands and everything. And then people confuse, well, he does love me because he said that. That's not love. That's control. That's mind control. That's not love. I could guarantee you that's not love. They need help. They need help. And there's a reason why I'm saying here, you know I went through that. And I thought it was love, and it wasn't. Once when you get out of that, you realize how much control. You realize, once you feel free, you realize what freedom is. But if you're going through that and you know it, or you don't know it but you might feel it, or if you need me to talk to you, or you know reach out. Reach out, because I know that a lot of young ladies are going through that. I know that a lot of young ladies go through it. Even older ladies go through it. Even older ladies go through it. And then you shouldn't be ashamed, because a lot of us went through it. Now, I'm not saying everyone went through it, but a lot of us, you know, went through it. I have witnessed that like there's times that we're working, a bunch of girls were working, and a jealous husband or a jealous boyfriend will be like, well, I don't believe you're there, I want to see. And here's the woman showing them, look at the girls are here working, and I could hear them bickering and fighting, and I'm like, dude, that's crazy to me. I'll be so embarrassed if Red Blue did that to me. Like, show me, I don't believe you're working, show me. Like, then where's the love and the trust and the freedom, you know like, it is crazy to me that this happens. It is crazy to me that this happens. And I've seen it happen. A lot of women are so worried of getting back home because the husband is like, where are you? What time are you coming? What are you doing? If I got a hold of that phone, I'd be like, she's doing the same thing she was doing an hour ago before you asked her. That does happen. And it bothers me. And it bothers me because that's control. One thing is that you're worried about me. Are you okay? You still working? Yes. Okay. That's a difference. It's a big difference. I'm not saying don't check on your wife. Don't check on your girlfriend. I'm not saying that. It's the way you do it. It's how you accuse them. Is that way you do it. I have a hard time dealing with that. And I know that there's ladies out there that are going to be upset because I'm saying the truth. And I know there's men that are going to be upset because I'm saying the truth, but I don't really care about that though. I really don't. you know it is, I really don't care. I wish I would have talked to someone that would have told me, They would have told me that he doesn't love you, he's controlling you. Nobody told me that. Nobody told me that. And as women, I mean, a lot of women maybe could relate. As women, we tend not to say everything. We tend to keep quiet. We're ashamed, or we don't want our family to say, "I told you so," or we don't want our friends to know the truth. That's bound. That's someone that has you bound. Like it's a horrible feeling. I used to feel like that. I used to feel. I knew if I told my dad would have probably been in jail. I knew that for a fact. So I was protecting my dad more than anything. My family, my mom and them, I knew they were gonna say I told you so, because they did tell me so. And my friends had I thought my friends had a perfect relationship. So if I came out with I thought they were gonna make fun of me, or I was embarrassed that how come my relationship doesn't work and theirs worked. Everything I thought was the wrong thing. Everything I thought was the wrong thing. Because when I went out there and asked for help, when I seeked help, nothing went that way. Nothing that I thought it was gonna go, nothing went that way. A couple of my friends were there for me. They cried with me. They felt sorry. Um, my father, yes, was upset. Yes, my father wanted to do stuff, but but because I convinced him and I spoke to him, he acted different. My mom actually traveled just to be with me. So the things that I thought they were gonna do, it didn't happen that way. But we women feel ashamed. We feel sometimes embarrassed. But I know how that feels, and I want to be talking like that through this new year. I want to talk about a lot of things that have happened to me, that God's been bugging me to share with you guys, because He says that is your testimony. That's what you went through, and you're gonna help a lot of women. You're gonna help a lot of women, and this is how I'm gonna start. I didn't know how to start because it's not an easy subject. It's not a subject that I'm embarrassed, because I'm not. It's not a subject that oh, I'm ashamed to talk about it, or I shouldn't talk about it. It's a subject that we should be talking about it. People should be talking about it. Yes, people that are real. No matter if I'm married to a reverend, oh, her life is perfect. Well, my life is good now. My life is better now. Yes, but it wasn't always perfect. It wasn't always good. It wasn't always like that. And see, some of these churches don't want you to say that. Some of the churches don't want you to say that where you come from and the things that you've been through, or that, now that you're married. No, you know, thank God I only been married once. Thank God I've only been married once. Thank God. There's a reason for that. But I had a life too. I had a past too. I survived a lot of things that I was ashamed of, that I swallowed them, that I didn't talk about. But if you're out there and you're going through that, know that you're not the only one. Just because you don't hear it, there's a lot of women that are going through that. And I would like women to start calling, and let's be like a support group. Let's be a ladies of UMO. Let's be ladies. Let's be friends. Let's encourage each other. Let's let's talk about it. Let's let's be out in the open and just be sisters and be understanding. We could teach each other. We could teach each other. But I know there's women out there that are hearing me. I know they're going to hear me, and I know that they're going through it. Sometimes, the worst bruises are the mental bruises, what people do to you, because they could damage you. They could damage you. There's things that trigger. I notice that as I'm going to premenopause, I notice that there's certain things that are coming back that trigger me. That trigger me, and it's something that I have to deal with. But because I have God, He is my best medicine. God is my best medicine because I pray to Him and I tell Him, I know what's going on and you know what's going on, God. You know what's going on. There's a reason why, uh, there's a reason why He put me here. He's been telling me to talk about my stuff, but I don't. Churches are not ready to receive what I have to tell them the truth of what the truth that women go through. They're not ready for that because they're there only to talk about peace, love, and the wonderful things. But God has put some of us through some rough battles so we could teach others, so we could let them know that they're not alone. Let them know what God done, has done. God done for you, for me. He puts us through battles. We grow that way. We become better human that way. We're not better human because we got up every morning and we pray for 3 hours and we bleed on our knees and you know we do that. No, we become better people because we go through struggles, we go through fights, because we survive, because God had gotten us through that, because we endure horrible things. We have been through horrible things and we still love Him because God is awesome, because He got us through that. Because at that moment, if we would have seek for help, we wouldn't go through that. If I would have met God before, if they would have introduced Him to me when they should have, I wouldn't go through the things I went through. But there was a reason why I did, because maybe I needed to grow and maybe I need to be ready for what's coming, because bad things are coming. And that's why I want women to rise up, to bulk up. I'm not saying go trashing men, no, because that's not what I'm saying. But what I'm saying is stand up when you feel you're being abused. Get help, counseling if you want to work it out. There's certain things that you can't work out though. Not if God's not your number one priority. If God is not in it. See, me and Red Blue, we go through stuff, but because we have God, it doesn't escalate. We don't get it big. It doesn't. It's just a moment. It's just a moment. But we go through stuff too. As a couple, we go through stuff. You know, um, but because we have God, they don't escalate. So I'm not gonna be a liar like most of the people at church. Oh, we're perfect. We never fight. We love each other. We're just no, it's not like that. We go through stuff. We're still human. We're not perfect. He's not perfect. I'm not perfect. There's only one perfect, God. We wouldn't be here. We were perfect. We go through stuff. You know, but we're open. Me and him are open to talk about it. We're open to talk to people about it. You know, when we had friends and we had people over, we talk about stuff. Oh, she did this, she did that. We're open. We don't hide. We don't uh be like, oh, church, we're gonna keep it churchy. We're just gonna say the good things and the godly things. We're not gonna talk about. No, we're human. We're human, and we understand. Now, do we have the same issues as other couples? You know, maybe not. Maybe not that big. There's no violence in this house. The only crazy drama one is our dog. Other than that, there's no drama here. But we're human and we go through stuff. But with the grace of God, we get over it and we talk about it. And we talk about it. And we have to meet halfway. He might not agree with me sometimes, and I might not agree with him, but we come to an agreement. I respect his space, he respects mine. There's respect in our relationship. There's respect. I respect him enough to know that he's not gonna do nothing wrong. And somebody told me this, and she said that that person said, if you trust your husband, he says, no, but I trust God, which is good, but you should respect your husband as you should trust your husband as well. They said, you trust your husband? Not really, but I trust God. And absolutely, I trust God more than anything, but I also trust my husband. I also trust him because he's in God. So we have to be ready to listen to the problems that our couples are going through, because let me tell you something, me that I'm involved in churches and I have been involved in churches, I'll tell you one, some of the deepest problems are from people that are in churches, because they're hiding, because they're ashamed, because they put a mask on in church, that everything's perfect. That pretty little girl, that sings or that dances or that does mime or that does this or does a new whatever, has a story, but they present it as a perfect world, but behind doors have dark secrets. That guy that is married is a perfect husband. Oh God, he's perfect. Perfect, perfect. Wouldn't change nothing in the world. Perfect, the perfect couple, the perfect marriage. But behind doors, they're going through a lot of crap. They're going through a lot of crazy stuff that you will be amazed, but nobody's talking about it. And maybe you're gonna sit here and say, "Well, it's their business. They shouldn't be talking about it." You're absolutely right. It's their business. Should be talking about it, but they should not be flaunting them as a perfect couple. That's where my problem comes from. It's not the fact that they're having problems. It's the fact that you're flaunting them and lying to people and saying things that they're lies. You're in church. You're not supposed to be lying. If it ain't perfect, just don't even talk about it. And this is why we're not accepted. This is why we're not accepted, because me and Blue are the same person. You know, when people come out and tell me, "Oh, your husband's so nice, this and that, this and that, this and that," you know, and they paint him perfect. I'm like, no, he's still a man. He's a good man, but he's still a man. There's only one perfect God, and that's the problem with churches. They put all these people as they're perfect, as they're perfect. They put all these people that are perfect when they have a lot of baggage. They have a lot of poop behind them, a lot of poop, and that's where I have a problem. So people that have issues, that have real problems, they're not going to come up to the church and talk about it, because everybody in church is perfect.
What?
Or it seems like, or they act like. So the people that have issues are not going to come forward because they're ashamed, they're embarrassed. Let's start being real. Let's start being real with our people. God knows the truth. It doesn't matter. God knows the truth. We have to be real. We have to be real, people. We have to seek help if we need it. Don't let problems escalate and get bigger. There's a lot of wives that there's a lot of women that think their husbands are perfect. That believe other stories that they tell them. I used to be that. I used to believe every story my partner used to tell me at the beginning. You know, I used to believe that. Like I used to believe, you know, well, I didn't come home because this happened. Okay, my older friends, my other friends, they didn't believe it. They were right. They were right. There's a lot of there's a lot of blindness, or people don't want to see it, or they're comfortable like that. But that's not what God intended. He didn't intend for darkness. He didn't intend for blindness. He didn't intend for us to neglect. He intended us to be partners, to be a couple, to be together in peace and love and learning about God and teaching others. Not hide, not cheat, not lie, not to be running the streets. You know, he intended us to unite, not separate. Unity. So if it feels wrong, it probably is wrong. It probably is wrong. See, a lot of these churches, a lot of the churches, not every church, because I've been through a lot, and not every church, but a lot of the churches like to form, they like to, how would I say it? They like to form couples. They like to, well, you belong with him and him with you and you with her. And they feel that they have that gift to be Cupid. So, oh, you're not right for him. I don't want you with him. I want you with her. But at the end of the day, that is not happiness, because God has a special person for everyone. It is not your job to decide who is that special person. God will make a way. You just have to see the signs. God will open doors. God will lead you to that person, not the pastor, not your family, not anyone. God already has someone for you. Remember, earlier in our shows, earlier this year, we spoke about pray for your husband, even if you're young, pray for your husband. Even if you're young, pray for your husband. Ladies, even if you're young, if you're single, pray for your husbands. Tell God to give you a godly husband, a good man. I want to thank you guys for listening to me. I want to thank you for spending time with me. But I mean, let's work together. Let's help one another. Respect your animals, respect each other. And until next time, thank you. Bye.
From underneath the trees, we watch the sky, confusing stars, the satellites. I never dreamed that you'd be mine, but here we are, we're here tonight, singing, hey, man, I'm alive, singing, hey, man, I'm alive. If everyone cared and nobody cried, if everyone loved and nobody lied, if everyone shared and swallowed their pride, then we see the day when nobody died. And I'm singing, amen, I'm alive, amen, amen, I'm alive. And in the air, the fireflies are only light in paradise. Would show the world they were wrong and teach them all to sing along.